Hello everyone, welcome back again to this week's YouTube Live Fast Track Money with Financial Imagineer. So if this is your first time here, I'm Yasi, the creator behind Fast Track. So it's a content platform. We have podcasts, Fast Track Podcasts. You can find on Spotify or on the website fasttrack.live. And I also write blog articles on the topics of entrepreneurship, personal finance, and also career development. And if you're interested in money and personal finance, then you are at the right place because this is the session I'm going to talk about money with financial imagineer who is here on this side or this side, Matthias Richter. So he is behind this blog called Financial Imagineer. The purpose is to help you imagineer your life financially and use money as a tool to design your dream life. So together we design a fast track money course to help our students understand the money mindset, money habit, and investment so they can also achieve their dreams using money as a tool. And now we are running on the fourth batch. It's open. You can find out on the website fasttrack.live/money course. You can also find out in the description if you're watching from YouTube, and if you're watching from Facebook from Financial Imagineers page. You might also find it in the comment section later. So without further ado, let me get Matthias come here and tell us what we are going to talk about today.
Thank you for the nice intro, and thank you, Dan the Wise. My beard is growing again. What are we talking about today? Today we are talking about the rich versus the poor mindset. And this is something I think is super crucial if you want to think or talk about money. Because rich or poor mindset is not necessarily about how much money you have in the bank. It's more about your overall perspective about life. So that sounds very like high level, and maybe you cannot do anything with that. So that's what we will cover in this session today. So the wealthy are usually those who see abundance and opportunity around them, whereby the poor are maybe the ones who try to limit themselves too much. But we will dig into this topic today.
Right. And I think oftentimes when we talk about money, it starts with mindset, right? Like if you don't understand
Yeah.
really how to manage your money, when money comes to you, once you mentioned the example of lottery winners, money comes, money goes fast.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's where a lot of people, when they think about money or they dream about money without actually doing something about money, usually they imagine that they will get rich overnight. And I say, easy come, easy go. So if somebody gets very wealthy very fast, but has no experience whatsoever how to handle the money that all of a sudden appears in somebody's life, very often, as fast as it came, it will go away again. And amongst lottery winners, which is extremely interesting to see, unfortunately, there's a lot of depressed people amongst that population. And most, I would say more than 80% of the lottery winners, they go back to bankrupt very fast after they earn the money, because what does it mean to be rich to them? It's usually not about like maintaining or building something. It's more about consuming something. And then the money comes quick. They will buy their nice sports car, the great vacation, money here, money there, money everywhere. And all of a sudden, no more money.
And another topic I want to mention is small money, meaning $5,
Mhm.
$20, $30 here and there. What would be the attitude in terms of like rich people's attitude towards small money and poor people's attitude towards small money?
This is also a super good point, because I think poor people, they say, oh, I only have $5. I cannot do too much with that. I need to have $100 or $1,000 before I can get invested. Started investing. And the wealthy people say, oh, cool, I saved another $5. I put it to the other ones, right? So it's sometimes it's not about making big steps, but imagine like a ladder. If you want to climb a big goal, a big, let's say a house or something, an obstacle, you have a ladder, and your steps are like that far away that you can almost not reach the next level. If you have smaller steps, it becomes easier and you climb very fast. So rich people, wealthy people, they kind of value also the small money in life. And on the poor mindset, very often it's the case they don't appreciate small amounts and think it's insignificant, like not worth it to spend the effort to think about it.
Yeah.
And that's a very crucial point where actually a lot of people could get started, but because they don't think like that, they don't.
Yeah, I do agree with you that even when it's a smaller amount, it's $25 or 10, it's your attitude towards the smaller amount actually reflected how it's what is your overall money mindset. And you talk about to get started with investing, even with $5 or $10. I want to mention the other part is with spending. What do you think are the spending habits in terms of like smaller amount, $5, $10 between the rich and poor mindset?
Okay, I mean, the wealthy, of course, they can spend more money without caring too much, but then still, um, people who are building wealth, they probably will think two times, three times before they spend something. And poor people or poor mindset people, they very often have the feeling, oh, I deserve this, I need to have this, I've earned it today because I need to reward myself with something instantly. And you see that it plays in very funny ways, like people go have a smoke, or they go buy in Europe usually a Red Bull at an expensive place instead of buying it in bulk or drinking something later. So it has different things, different ways how this shows. But the poor mindset is usually also more like, oh, anyway, I have it now, so why don't I spend it before I do something more stupid with it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we talk about the investing attitude starting from small, even though you only have like a 5 or 10 or even 100 just to get it started. And then we talk about spending that's,
Mhm.
regardless of small or big amounts, don't always think about rewarding yourself, but think about how to put the money to work. Right.
Yeah, correct, correct. Also, it's the mindset thing is also one level higher. The wealthy people usually, if they see something about spending, sometimes the poor people think, I cannot afford it, right? But the wealthy mindset will be, how can I afford it? The person knows cannot afford it right now, but then think, how can I make this happen? And then it's not necessarily about the very same thing. So the rich mindset is more a mindset of abundance, of possibilities, opportunities in life. So it's a growth mindset,
Yeah.
whereby the poor mindset is more like maintaining what you have, protecting, not taking too much risk, and unfortunately, very often being stagnant.
Yeah, yeah, I think so true. With the growth mindset, you can achieve way more, regardless of personal growth, regardless of personal wealth or other achievement. This situation, for example, when it comes to investing or manage your money, someone never ever learned this from school or their parents or their friends. You can say, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to save. Or you can say, I don't know what to do. I'm going to learn. So it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing is you keep discovering new things. You keep growing, not just growing in terms of physically, but you keep expanding your mindset, right? And learning new things, getting better at certain things. That's actually where it's at. Yeah.
I think even our audience who is here watching this live or watching this replay, it already shows that you want to learn something that you might not
Mhm.
be familiar with. You want to discover, like learn new knowledge. So it's pretty amazing. I think even it's a small step, people can take a big step, and then eventually you will achieve way more.
Yeah.
Um, and how about changing the mindset? You see, there are people who actively, searching for information or coming to watch our YouTube live, taking the money courses. But what about the others who are not actively working on it? Like, how would you help those people?
I mean, okay, maybe a story can help for that. So rich people sometimes don't have a rich people's mindset, and the poor people, maybe they appear poor, but they are maybe the rich people. So how's that? I mean, that's a very interesting thing. you may have somebody with a very high socioeconomic status, a very high income, and a lot of money in the bank, but somehow this person can still be poor because the mindset is not open, right? So some people like this, they probably keep chasing some goals and other things, but ultimately they don't have the freedom. Number one, they don't have the time, and they cannot pursue their own like agenda in life. So that's something very interesting. There are some people like this. On the other side, you have people, they maybe don't have as much money, but they have freedom. They can do more things like they want. So who is wealthy and who is poor, it's not necessarily visible on first sight. I think it's something internal. So if you ask me, how can you change? It's maybe number one, find out what you truly want in life. Number two, how can you make it fit whatever you have, your resources, how to reallocate, how to make it work for you that you actually have a better life. And then if there are some obstacles or things you need to change, number three is to tackle them. What can you focus on, what you can control, and then go it from there. Don't get upset about things that are out of your control. That's usually a bad advice.
I
Yeah.
realized that also many of our students in our money course have already realized that the first few lessons is not about how to use your money, it's really about the mindset. Because
Mhm.
once you really understand it and have the right mindset, then later on, whatever happens, you understand the principle and investment principle, and then stay the course, and then you will reach achieve results.
Yes, yes, yes. Also, I think if you want to grow into this kind of mindset, it's maybe, yeah, there's the famous book Poor Dad, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There's like two dads try to educate a little boy, which later is Robert Kiyosaki, right?
Mhm.
But you actually see that you can learn from the wealthy. So why not just open up your mind and try to see how the wealthy people design their lives? And that's something very interesting for a lot of people. Learning or growing stops after school, and then they go into their professional life. They start a career, and they keep going, and somehow they don't grow anymore on the professional side, right? It doesn't need to be like a paper certificate, an MBA, or something like that. It could be something that you do for yourself. So I think there, find out who you actually admire for what that person is doing, and then try to figure out how that person could get there, and then try to learn the lessons for yourself. And that sounds easy, is maybe not so easy, but it's about your mindset again. Like, think big, have commitment towards your goals, try to design your life. Poor mindset is more like thinking problems. The rich mindset is thinking solutions. um, Poor mindset is nothing, I can influence nothing. Positive or rich mindset is, oh, here I have three things I can influence, what can I do with that? Start there, focus on that. And if you want to supersize your bank account and life options and so on, your home, your life, anything, you need to start with your mind. Your mind need to be first. And once your mind has grown to actually accept that this life, that's another thing. A lot of people think this is not the life I deserve. This is not possible for my life. You have to start with yourself. Think about, I can achieve that. That's something I can do. And then get started doing it.
Yeah, when we talk about rich mindset and poor mindset, it's not just in terms of money, but in terms of your attitude, your personal growth. Do you look at things in positive way that you want to change it? Is there something you can learn? There's something you can do to deal with it, or something you can resources you can use to achieve your goal, or you look at the current situation at this is it, and then complaining, and then saying why it is me, why it is like this. And then I really agree with you that when in situations that you cannot change the environment or external factors, start with yourself. What
Mm.
you can change, what can you do to make your situation better?
Yeah. And that way, rich people, they usually focus on their goals. They focus on finding solutions, like I mentioned, whereby the poor people, they usually very fast see the problems, and they dream or want to be rich, but they don't take action to be rich or wealthy. And the rich, maybe they don't have money first. They could have like a goal to go after freedom and more options in life. And by doing so, they actually expand their horizon, and therefore the success will come eventually.
Right. Uh, Talking about the books, one of the books I really like is called The Millionaires Next Door. Of course, it's
Mhm.
famous among the community. Um, there, it's very obvious that when people in the book talk about rich people and poor people, actually it looks like they're the opposite, right? The poor
Yes,
actually looks much richer than the rich.
correct. One is appearance, and the other thing is the inner values, right? So who do you believe more? And that's something also very important if you want to look for mentors or people to trust or follow with advice. If you keep listening to the guy with the Ferrari and the shiny Rolex and all that things, you may not know what is in his bank account. The chances are he doesn't have much there because all his assets are on the road and on his wrist. So there's not much money left there. And if you follow people like that and think, oh, this is somebody who achieved it, then you may get the same results, right? And a lot of wealthy people, they are not so shiny or show off, so they will be more humble and more hidden in society, so it's not easy to figure out who is at what position eventually. And
Yeah.
that's also something where people, if they look for role models and so on, they often are mistaken by going after the wrong advice, the wrong people.
I think from the book Millionaire Next Door is the majority of the American millionaires, they are living in middle class neighborhood. Yes, there are multi millionaires or the ones who really have some personal assets and net worth. They are buying luxury items. That is their
Mhm.
lifestyle. But what we talk about here is in general, like if you really want to build up from scratch, you need to have the right money mindset, right?
Yeah.
And it's just it's nowadays I've seen so many YouTube ads. I don't know if you have seen some of them, that there are guys who try to give you like a service, like a coach, or teach
Mhm.
you how to make money, and then he shows his Rolex watch, and then living a big house, and then going
Yeah.
to the car, driving the Ferrari, and try to attract people. I think this is what people fall for. It's the shiny items.
Shiny object syndrome, correct. And
Yeah.
for all you know, they couldn't afford these things eventually. Maybe it's borrowed, or it's just it's a marketing trick, right?
Yeah.
Monkey
And
see, monkey do.
because the other day I was watching this documentary from Deutsche Welle about the super rich in Germany and the richest family in Germany. No one can find any information about them online. You couldn't even find photos, and there are few billionaires you don't even know how they look like. Just they just try to remain to be unseen and
Yeah,
unknown.
that's a superpower, right? Because if you are too famous for some whatever reason, you can no longer go to the supermarket or live your life, right? That's again the highest value is freedom. And if you are recognized at every stop, imagine you are like Warren Buffett and you want to have your quiet traveling the world, you can forget about it.
So if you're too rich, then you're losing the freedom.
Eventually, right? That could be a problem, but that's a luxury problem, so to say. I
Yeah.
mean, people like that, they could find ways around it. But
Right.
yeah, all in all, rich people are not necessarily like your Hollywood kind of movie or rap video kind of actors that have all the golden watches, the sports cars, and so on. Rich people are very often, it could be even like boring people that take responsibility. Um, Responsibility, I like it, is the ability to respond. So they have the power in their hands, what they want to do. And if you are exposed like that, you give up the power eventually, right? uh,
Mm-hmm.
Poor people on the other side often they more make decisions based on emotions rather than like discipline and long-term approach, right? And that could also be one thing. Or acting under pressure. Peer pressure could be one thing. It could be a poor mindset symptom that you have peer pressure. That's why it's called stop chasing the like lifestyle inflation, following up with the Joneses. You
Keeping
need
up.
keeping up with the Joneses. Yes. Upgrade your house, buy the better car, all these things. You don't really need it, but people still do this kind of stuff because they put themselves under emotional pressure and they feel they are missing out in life and things like that. And sometimes it can be very impulsively what people do like that.
Yeah.
And,
I think after we talk to many of our previous students, I think the biggest transformation is really the mindset. Like once you understand what kind of life you want, what kind of amount of money that would support your life the way that you want it doesn't have to be a gigantic amount, or you don't really have to pursue the super mega shiny career to climb up the corporate ladder, but still have your freedom and your own time. I think this is a very important topic that is very difficult to change people's mindset in one YouTube live. Like if you have the right mindset, I would think that you would do things that is helping you to become better and then helping you to achieve more in life and eventually more wealth and more net worth. It's a consequence of that.
Yeah. There's also books about how you expand your mindset. I think Napoleon Hill wrote something like think yourself rich or stuff like that,
Think,
right?
grow rich is also a classic. I think the first chapter is about mindset. I think it's also very similar to the book The Secret, is about visualization and to have inner desire for something, and it all comes from mindset and attitude.
Yeah. Attitude defines altitude. If you have no attitude, you won't take off, right?
I think you have a lot of funny sentences. We need to make a collage and then post it on the we need to post it on the Fast Track Money social platform. I think it's so funny. Today, something new I learned is responsibility is the ability to respond.
Yes. It's something people think responsibility is a boring word, but actually it's a very empowering word. If you can say, yes, I take responsibility, it means something, right? For that matter.
Yeah, indeed.
And so usually talking about that, I think it's very easy to talk about it. And there are still people who say, oh yeah, well, it's easy to talk about it. It's easy to say, yeah, think yourself rich. But then what do you actually do? I think that's exactly where you need to start. Like you asked the right question before with the small amounts, make baby steps, take it from somewhere. And usually the mindset is also something, it could be something culturally biased, or it could be something you pick up from your family, from people around you. That's the third place, right? If you surround yourself with the wrong people, you will become the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. And mindset is something that is also passed on, like monkeys, humans, social influence, right? You will become what you surround yourself with. And a lot of people unfortunately grow up in a way, and they always are told money is evil, money is bad, and if you just think about money, you will have a very poor life, and so forth. And then if you grow up like that, you will never actually try to actually even understand. You even thinking about money in itself is something bad.
Something bad. Yeah, don't think about money. Don't talk about money.
Yes. There's a lot of people like that. And then if you actually want to talk with them about that, then you oh gosh, it doesn't work, right?
Yeah, this is what I heard in the past. I think it's from the secret law of attraction or something like that. That if you hate money and you don't like it, you think it's evil, why money would come to you? It's like another person. If you don't like this person, why you want this person to like you?
Stop pursuing and start attracting.
Yeah. Do you have last words for our audience today as a conclusion?
Last words. Okay, for the conclusion, I think why this money mindset thing is important for everyone. I believe it's not just the people who struggle about it should be mindful about thoughts and feelings, right? It should be something having a healthy mind and so on, not just about money and wealth. It can be about relationships and everything. You can steer a lot with your mind and with your thoughts. And if your thoughts are in a negativity loop, there will not be coming a lot of fruitful solutions out of there, right? It's very simple. It's bigger than money, this topic. Money is just one of the things you can steer with that. So what do I want to give on your way after looking and watching this session with us today? Adopt a healthy kind of way to steer your mind in a way. Like try to figure out how you can control your thoughts. And if you can do that and you can change that, anything is possible.
Yep. So next week, our topic will be...
Next week, our topic will be to talk about infinity growth. It's like people usually they think about, okay, why can the economy keep growing 7-8% per year? Why can the SP 500 keep growing 8 to 10% per year again and again and again and again? We only have one planet. So I would say watch our next week's session if you want to figure out more about that. Where does this additional growth come from? How does this work and how you can profit from that? Infinite growth in a way.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, next week is going to be very interesting for those if you have never invested or you are thinking about investing. And now is the time for you to understand why we always talk about invest, invest, invest. It's not gambling. There is a reason why we think there will be return in the future. So watch out to next week, Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. And before we go, I just want to tell you guys again that our 4th batch of Fast Track Money course has now opened. So you can find out more or register yourself on fasttrack.live/money course. We will focus more on money mindset, money habit, and then saving, increase your earnings, and then investing, and then design a lifestyle that will free you from whatever is keeping you back. I'll put it nicely. Limited seats. We will have a small group and the interactive learning session. So it will be a very rare opportunity. So far, all our students enjoy it a lot. They learned a lot. I think you can read all the testimonials on our website. And then with that, we will see you in the next week's episode.
Awesome. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.